4. And okay, so the current unit lesson 4 is a make lesson. And as you go farther, there is a pattern here that you can't see yet because I haven't opened them, but it's explore, investigate, practice, and make. And so in this case, you are going to make, and you're going to make this app the photo liker app. And of course, it will only be things you've learned before. And if you look at lesson 4, bubble 1, which is if you went to lesson 4, you're one of 2 places. This app is what you're going to recreate. And luckily, they've given you all of the design elements that you need to complete it. They've also given them like meaningful and descriptive names, like counter output. I've not used this protocol or naming convention that they're using here, but I do like it, ending with either output or input, depending on whether it's an output or input. But that's an aside. The goal for this in bubble 2 is to recreate this. Okay. First step is to think about what is being kept track of. Okay. There are 3 different inputs, which I wonder why it should be making an annoying sound in the back there. Okay. There we go. Okay, so it has 3 different inputs. There is the likes up, likes down, and add a new comment. Okay, both of these things, like up and down and comment input, we have done before. The likes up and down, and do listen to this, this is where the answers are. The likes up and down is the equivalent of lesson, or is the exact same thing with slightly different words from lesson 2, bubble 2. That is the thermostat up and down app. And here is how that works from lesson 2, bubble 2. And the other portion, the comments in input, is the same as lesson 3, bubble 7, when we did the feed the cats app, which, oh, let's try that. Works the same way. Okay, so do refer to those things. If I give you, I'm not going to give you too much of a hint, but the and these are those 2 things that I just said, the likes up and down, lesson 2.2, and or lesson 2, bubble 2, same thing. Input with a string to a new line, which is what's happening in the example. Lessons 3.5 and 3.7 are where you learned how to do that. So the general pattern, and this is the pattern for pretty much all of our programming, is first thing is to identify what you're keeping track of. I'll give you a hint. You're keeping track of 2 things. And the other thing is, the next step is what is actually changing. What are the inputs? Okay, you only need an event handler for things the user that for things you want to trigger something to happen. Okay, there's no event handler for the comments output. That's not the action that adds the new string. Okay, I mean, we've done this essentially before, and like I said, if you go to 3.7, this is what that is. And it's, again, always going to be the same pattern. Update the variables and use the variables to update the screen. Okay, and those are all the hints I'm going to give you. And I will give you, let's do 30 minutes or so. By then, you will either have completed it or will have conceded and are ready to punt. Okay, so go ahead and get started. Does anybody have any questions that I can answer before I wrap this up? Okay, ready, go.